Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Workshop. As always, I'm here with Madzuri.
Greetings.
And yeah, today we're going to go over a mixed logistic smelting setup by Robin. And this one will actually be pretty quick. There's a few things we want to go over with it, but really, I mean, it's pretty straightforward actually. So I'll just let you take over, Zuri, because you have a few things to point out here.
Oh yeah. It has a very limited input. It only inputs 2 belts. So if you want to use like all the belts output, there's like what 4 down here plus steel, which is worth 5 belts of iron itself. That's a huge discrepancy. It's going to have to buffer up a very long time before you can make full use of it.
Right.
Also, it's got like very few actual smelters, so again, its throughput isn't that great.
No, and you could expand this and make it bigger, but there's already some things that we think are way overdone, such as these buffers.
Yes, I generally tell people to avoid building buffers altogether. They don't really do anything.
Right.
I suppose we could make an entire video about that, about why buffers are bad, the cost of building them and such, but I guess for now, just trust me, buffers are not your friend. They're annoying, they don't really help, and they don't really do anything.
Right. And yeah, that's a good point. We should do a video just for that at some point, but until then, using large buffers like this, or any buffers for that matter, probably not the best idea. Now, to kind of just actually go over what this does, for people who may not have, figured it out by watching. Essentially, you send in mixed belts worth of stuff and of ore, rather, all the 4 types of ore, and this sorts them out, as you can see, and sends them down their correct paths, and then it's sent through the logistics system as a buffer, and then put on a belt to be smelted. So it's actually not. I was a little deceived. I wouldn't say deceived. I guess I was mistaken by the name. I thought it was actually logistics smelting, but it's actually not using the logistics system for the smelting with robots. It just passes it through it as a buffer, sends down, smelts them. Actually, and then yeah, sends the finished products through a buffer, and then spits them out here. They are nice and organized, which is good, and it does look cool. It's one of those things that you said was fun to play around with and build, but perhaps overly complicated.
Yeah, it's like the Rube Goldberg machine. It's fun to build for the complexity of building it and to stand on the belts and watch it loop for hours, but it doesn't really do much.
Right. So yeah, there you go. I mean, again, we really try to avoid. I mean, we don't want to like be criticizing designs. I mean, this works, right? Again, pretty much all these designs work. It's not like it's going to just destroy your factory by having it, but there are certainly ways to do it better. Or like for example, for this build, if you did want to still use this or something similar, for me personally, what we would probably want to do is take out these buffers altogether. Although, as you mentioned, Zuri, that would just create a huge backup because this actually wouldn't be able to smelt it as fast as it's sorting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would cause a bit of an issue. If you still want to do this, I would at least say reduce the buffer to maybe just like a few chests, like maybe just 1 row of chests. Again, buffer's not the best, but if you still want to do it, this many, I mean, this is a huge amount.
This is way overkill.
Yeah, especially for the steel, because there's like this many chests of steel, and you have to remember that each piece of steel is 5 iron. So if these actually fill up, that is a ludicrous amount of iron, essentially, that you just have built up here, not doing anything.
Rough estimates about, I said, what, 10 hours of buffering? If all you did was input iron ore to fill these chests up. Again, that was just an estimation. I have no idea how long it would actually take.
yeah, it would be insane. So there you go. Overall the build is not like bad. It looks good. Again, it's one of those things fun to build and watch, and it does work to a degree. However, we would suggest avoiding buffers altogether, and if you still want to do this, at least reduce the buffers. Sorters like this, I mean, you shouldn't mix your belts to begin with, but if you're going to, these sorters actually do, at least to me, they're pretty fascinating. They look cool, but yeah, you really shouldn't even be mixing your belts to begin with.
That's definitely, I've seen a lot on multiplayer maps that I've randomly connected to. People will build randomizers and then sorters just to see it randomize and sort. And I guess that in and of itself is amusing. Like I said, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine. It's fun to watch, but it doesn't really do anything.
Right. So there you go. I hope this helped you and in other people as well. As always, there will be a link in the description to the blueprint if anyone wants to play around with it or build it themselves. And yeah, I really believe that's it. It was pretty straightforward here. Pretty massive design, actually, considering what it does. But yeah, I think that's it. So unless you have any last thoughts, Zuri, I believe that'll do it.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Okay. Well, there we go, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, submissions, please leave them down in the comment section. But until next time, we will catch you later.
Later.